Okay. Okay, yeah. So let's start. So we have 30 minutes. Okay. Oh, so my name is Sophia Morales. As you know, I was the founder of Rotaract in Rotaract Club in Rouen. It's a club in the district 1640. And since 2013, I'm working as secretary for the country committee in Peru. And it is the second time I'm attending to RYLA International, organized by like the partners that maybe you can see on my screen right now. So the thematic of this seminar was We for Europe. It took place in Metz for 4 days in October. And I put November. Okay, so mainly the partners, as you can see, that the idea of this program was to put together people from mainly France and Germany, but after it has been extended to people from Poland. And we invited people from Ukraine. Okay, so what we did actually during these 4 days, I put November, but it's actually October. So the first day, it was 25th. We just mainly visit the city of Metz. So I didn't think it was very relevant for you to explain that. It was mainly when we met all the participants. We were around 40 or 50 people attending this conference from 4 different countries. And so Luxembourg Day was on 26, sorry. So in the morning, we visited the European Investment Bank. As you can see, like with my badge. We have the honor to have the president of the European Investment Bank, who came and explained us how the bank was working, the main objectives, what were their challenges, the challenges they were facing, and actually regarding the projects and like solidarity projects they were doing, and how they were financing, how they were financing these projects. And in the afternoon, we visited the European Commission in Luxembourg. And we have 4 main speakers. They were very interesting. It was around the migration problem, like migration issue in Europe, like mainly people coming from Arabic countries, and actually now from Syria, and so we have like a very interesting discussion about what we can implement as governments, how the Europe is managing that issue, and how countries can improve that. So like we discuss about how each country is implementing measures in order to improve the migration topic. And at the end, there was a representative of RYLA International who came and explained the relevance of youth as the key to solve this kind of problems, and how like they were. He explained that our main sorry, it has a long time I didn't speak in English. What was our role? Does it exist in English? That our role, to or in the how we can, like as youth, change throughout Rotary things about migration, but of course other topics, improve economic growth, education, and all this stuff. It was a very long day, actually. I put two pictures, the only two that I get. The one, it was during the EU Commission, and the other one, well, yeah, for investment bank. So you can see all the people who attended to the conference, and in the other, the speakers we had from the for the European Commission. Next day, it was a seminar day. We visited, as maybe you know, Robert Schuman.
Mm-hmm.
No. Do you know it? Do you know him?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay, great. So, like maybe for the people that didn't hear about him yet, he is considered as the father of the Europe. He was the first that the partnership between France and Germany will help to improve relations and make establish the peace, because it was after the Second World War, and there was many conflicts. So yeah, Robert Schuman is considered as the father of Europe, for the people that believe that Europe is a good thing for these countries. So we visited his house. We visited like we have an explanation of how he worked during his life in order to improve European stuff. And during the afternoon, we have two workshops about populism, the positive points and the negative point of populism, and it was led by a politician that came from Johannes Gutenberg. Anyway. And we have another workshop. I attended this one from European Values, and it was an ambassador and a woman who was working in the European Council, actually. And at the end of the day, we present and discuss about the results we had with the other groups, or the other people who attend the other workshop. And actually, our result have been published in the Rotary, the Rotary, how to say, book, the Rotarian
magazine.
Yeah, the Rotary magazine. That's it. Okay, so the last day, it was especially focused on the youth parliaments, the youth parliaments of European, like the relations between France, Germany, and Poland. And so we have speeches from the main people that organized the seminar. And during the afternoon, we have a session in which we discuss and vote few like kind of laws that have been implemented in the youth parliaments. And that's all. It was very interesting because we had the translation, simultaneously, so everyone could speak in the native language. And it was interesting because the last year it didn't happen, so people couldn't understand each other, and everyone didn't have the same level of English, so it was kind of difficult to have relevant discussion. And yeah, I think they improved that part this time. Yeah, that's all about the day. So maybe you have questions about the seminar? Maybe I can show you more photos if you want, because I put the main information I remember from October. So
more photos are always good.
Arrêtez le partage. Yeah. So, do you have any questions about? Oh, hi, Patty. I can see you.
My internet here is very slow, but I've been listening.
Okay. You are with Matthew, right? Are you with Matthew right now?
She's using my account.
Probably
She's
using
not with
probably using his account. I'm not with him.
Oh, okay. Just because it was showing in the screen that it was Matthew who was talking. So, do you have questions, or maybe I can focus on some points you would like to
Matthew, have you gone to one of the RYLA sessions before in the U.S.?
I've done a RYLA in District 5100, but
Okay.
that was
It
not
seems
nearly
very
as
different
impressive.
from what I did. Yeah, it seems very different from what I did. I did one with RYLA North America, so it was the USA and Caribbean islands, Canada. It was a very different kind of topics and things like that. Most of our topics focus more on leadership and like team building and more Rotaract specific. So it's very interesting that your topics were more about, it seems very government focused, which is pretty cool. Very different from what I went to.
Yeah. The thing is that this RYLA was made to make youth have a deep reflection about how European was going on, like how they could, like, because the main people that attend, like they were between 20 to 25 maximum, so they were they wanted, like the organizer wanted to give all the information by putting them with the main actors that were decided, like European Commission, the people from the European Bank, having speakers that are working in the European issues, in order to make them reflect about how they can back to their country, back to their city, make actions in order to make the European values and European idea go forward. So yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was
Do you feel like you took things from your experience, and are there things that you feel like you can enact at home?
I didn't hear. It was I didn't get your question, Patty.
I think you said, are there things you took from it that you feel like you can enact at home?
I didn't know who taught. I just taught. I couldn't hear exactly. Can you repeat again? The actions. Okay. So did you say about the actions we can implement in or back to our city? Okay. So during the last day, during the youth parliament session, we decided about each person, each people because mainly people came from the same districts, and we say that they implement, like for France, they are presidents who got elected, president and vice president, that are the responsibility to make sure that actions that decided as, for example, go to high schools in order to make like educate, to explain what is Europe, because the main thing is that, like, what had as conclusion during the workshop is that youth didn't have enough knowledge about what was really the Europe values and how they could make actions, because politicians here and people are like maybe like in the United States, there is a big distance. I don't know if it's there is politicians used to take decisions based on what they think it's good for people, and people instead of go and say to politicians, okay, I want this this could be relevant for us, they don't do it. So they want, like the organizer wanted to give all the information to youth in order to have the global idea of what Europe was and how they can help youth, like for example, people from high school, by doing like workshops, afterwards, organizing afterwards in which during that time they could speak about the actions, like for example, in April, I think it will be on May, there is a European Day, so everyone in our city will make an action. So for example, any kind of actions, like just going and showing that it was European Day and we are not just French, not German and Polish, but we are European citizens. So that was the main objective of the actions we could implement, more to inform youth that what they can do as citizens.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I think it was very interesting. Actually, I attended to Berlin in 2015, and it was pretty different because actually there was no translation. So the official language was German, so we couldn't talk and express ourselves. Actually, I don't speak German at all, so it was pretty difficult for me to express myself and give maybe feedbacks about the workshops and everything. But yeah, this time was very interesting, and we had the chance to meet like very big person, like the president of European Bank, etc. It was pretty interesting. Yeah. They put a lot of efforts to make this really a very great experience.
What was your favorite?
My favorite, as economist, I would say the European Bank, and meeting all the president, and we have one of the women who was a representative and working in the solidarity projects, and it was very interesting to know how all the money was, like how they were investing in which kind of projects, like very innovative projects in countries in Africa, for example. But in the human part, I would say mainly the shares or the talks I had a very deep conversation with a guy from Ukraine and a girl she was Italian, but she was representing France, about our roles, or how we see our role as a European citizen. So that was the main interesting thing, like to share, like you realize that you want to change things, to improve many stuff in your life for others, and sometimes you realize that you think that there is no people sharing your ideas or sharing your values, and to meet all these people in the same place, coming from all Europe, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
Well, everything was not so good as I'm telling, but of course we are just keeping the best things, in like always, there is always amazing things, but there is some things, some stuff that don't go well sometimes. So, but yeah, just we focus and keep the best parts of the experience.
I'd be wondering if you could speak a little to just what some of the roadblocks were, just because I think it's always interesting to hear how you still had this great, amazing experience and everyone worked together, despite even this amazing forum having a couple of barriers to it. Because I think perseverance is an excellent skill, and I don't want to be, disillusioned if something goes a little wrong.
Matthew, I didn't get your question. Sorry, your accent is very American.
Oh, sorry.
Can you repeat again, please?
Yeah. Can you give just
Yeah.
a little information about what didn't go well, just so that we know what.
Yeah. Okay. So as I told you that, so the RYLA is organized by the same, all like the sponsor that the person that that give the finance to make this event happen is are always the same district, and is mainly all the same people that are in the head of you know, like for example the president of Germany for the youth parliament is always the same, for France it's always the same. And the thing is that from my point of view, the French people who attended with other people from Ukraine, we see that because we were new and we had a vision like of outside of the project. And the thing is that there is many things that could be different for logistics, for example, because how can I say, for example, actually, when they promote the RYLA, they said it was a youth parliament in which we will make decisions that will be helped that will be sent to European Commission, you know, the big organization, in order to make them understand that us with youth, we wanted to make things change, you know, like proposals. And the thing is that when we talked with the president of all the youth parliaments, it was just discuss about topics, and it was just a discussion, not really. There was no like the conclusions we had. It was just going to stay between us, you know. The information that all the things we work on were going to stay like just a resume for the organizer. And actually we push the people that from the youth parliament to make, for example, to publish what we made to Rotarian magazine. They write a letter of what we discussed during the workshops, etc., and send it to European Commission, and, you know, to make our voice to be heard. And of course, sometimes it's hard because, you know, for 4 days, 5 days, you are living with people in like with 5 people in the same room, and sometimes you don't speak the same language. It's a bit difficult to understand. We need to manage things together and everything. So but well. And you don't sleep at all, because if you want to live like 100, 200% this experience, you don't sleep. Like actually, I didn't sleep. Maybe 5 hours, and at the end I was just dying because you are so tired, you know. But yeah, it's like a nice experience because you got a lot of knowledge. You meet amazing people that you keep contact. Like from the first RYLA I attended in Berlin, I met like French people that I met again in Lithuania, and we gang out. Now the guy is working for fly company, you know, like it's like you create your network, you keep like contact with people that with who you share the values, the ideas, and who want to change the world, if you can say. Like they want to change things or are invest in, you know, in the daily environment on their city, on their country.
I agree. I think that's the best part of going to these conferences, is that you get to feel part of some other people, and that you understand the same things and you agree on the same things, and you get to build friendships that last forever. So I'm glad you got to have the experience.
Yeah. And thanks to the Rotary Club of our sponsor that made this experience happen. Yeah, because they react very fast, and I'm really grateful that they accept to sponsor my application. And yeah, it was really nice then to live this experience. Like you learn a lot. You learn a lot as like professional things that could be relevant, in your daily working life, but as well as person, like you. So that's the main thing. That's what I live a very great experience. That's very interesting.
Do you have any advice for people that might be going in the future?
Can you repeat again?
Do you have any advice for people who might go in the future?
Yeah, okay. Please read all the documents that organizer sent. Because, like during the last day, we had a discussion, we need to vote. And we lost a lot of time because some people didn't read documentation about, for example, I don't remember exactly how they call it, but like resolutions was supposed to be votes, or didn't know at all how the meeting will be the first part, the second part. So maybe it's like if you attend this conference, you have to put in your mind what's your objective, what you want to take from this experience, and make all the possible to keep informed about the planning, the time, when the bus, like it's very specific, like when the bus will leave from the hotel to this place, because we lost many, like some people were late, etc., or they forgot that we needed to make some projects, etc. So yeah, you need to be like responsible, I will say, responsible and professional, because it's not only like Rotary is investing money on you to have to develop yourself, to develop your knowledge, and it will. It be a shame. It will be not interesting for you to not just go as a tourist. It's not a tourist experience. It's an active experience in which you play your role, because you have the chance to express yourself, to bring ideas, to present yourself as president or vice president, and that's all.
That's
good advice.
Okay. Do you have any other questions?
I do not.
Okay. Okay, I will send you the PPT I made, and I will put more information about maybe how you can attend, how you can subscribe, because the process is a little bit different, I think, from the other RYLAs, if I got it, because you need to fill a application and explain your motivations, and things like that. If you're interested. If you are interested on that.
Very cool. Sounds good.
Okay.
Hello, this is Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
I got in a little bit late, but I didn't want to interrupt. So, Sophia, I just wanted to say thank you for your presentation and for being a great representative of Rotary and Rotaract. So that was nice. And yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge that that I was here and that I was listening.
Oh, great! Thank you, Wendy. Well, yeah, actually, it was very interesting experience, and thanks to Rotary that this happened. So yeah, well, I think like us, like for all Rotaractors are in the. You need to take advantage of how like what Rotaries bring to you. So as I say, you can play an active role and have responsibilities, to develop, bring ideas, and improve how local level, national level, international level. it's just on you. You know, you need to make the choice to make things happen.
Yeah.
And
That's great
Yeah.
advice.
and this.
So what was the general age of? I mean, I know I got in late. So how many other folks were there, and what was the general age of each?
It was like there were people from 20 to the oldest. Who was the oldest? The oldest was 28, but there was only one, and after was mainly between 20 and 25.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, but many of them were like, mainly all of them were like had a big experience working like for government, like at least for the people representing France. They were people who worked for the government in the Ministry of International Relations or the Assembly General Assembly, that have big like making great studies and very big schools like Sciences Po and Sorbonne, maybe you know. So that was like it was very interesting because people there were very smart, you know, very engaged and engaged people in politics and all this stuff. So there it was people that really wanted to make this experience and improve themselves. Oh yeah.
That's so cool.
Excellent.
Okay. Do you have any other questions? Do you have any other questions?
Sophie, this is Jackie Oakley. I am the president of the State of Jefferson E-Club, and I've been listening on, and I want to thank you for making this presentation and including me.
Oh, yeah, well, it's my pleasure. Thanks to you for attending.
You're welcome.
Sorry? You're welcome. Sorry, like it has been a long time I didn't hear like American accent, so it's a bit sometimes difficult to understand. Yeah, well, my pleasure. That's very nice. Thanks, Patty, to make things happen, like to put in contact with Rotary, and I hope you like Patty, like share the PPT I will send to you to them, so they can have an idea of what we did, and yeah. So.
Of course, we will definitely share. We recorded this presentation, so we'll share this presentation, and then if you send any other materials, we can send that too.
Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm a bit, I say, timide. I'm a bit shy sometimes, so yeah. Like I like to speak in front of people, but to be recorded is a bit different.
Yes, it is. It's okay. It will be a small audience.
Okay, great. Okay, any other questions or any other information you would like to have?
That's it from me. Anybody else have any questions before we end the call? Okay, I think that means we're done with the call.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Sophia, for presenting to us. And yeah, we have another speaker, just so everybody knows, we have another speaker that's going to come in March as well. And we're trying to finalize that time, but it will be probably the end of March. So I will send information on that as soon as I have it.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys, for to give me the opportunity to talk to you. It was really nice to share my experience, and I hope you will attend the next RYLA in November. I think it will be international here in Europe.
Well, thanks, everybody. Hope you guys have a lovely weekend.
Thank you, Sophia.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.